Hey guys, so here we are on the other side of the video, the end of part one, and all right, so I'll just continue on with what I was saying before. So I went into Adobe Premiere and I used it to re-edit the entire project from scratch. So I imported the original project file, which had all of my raw footage, my the footage that I filmed with, the voice narration, all the pictures, all that good stuff. I just imported it all into Premiere, and then I just started from scratch right then and there, re-editing this whole project together. So I pretty much just redid my post-production process in Premiere, and it only took me about a day or so to do, which I was surprised. I figured it would take me longer because I did not really know how to work Premiere. I just I just sort of really learned by trial by fire, and eventually I was able to make it work enough to the level that I need it to be, which I don't need it to be able to do a whole bunch of fancy schmancy shit. I just needed to be able to do all of this, to be able to do jump cuts and have videos going back and forth between an A roll and a B roll, which is A/B editing, which I just found out because I'm so smart and I do research. But anyway, yeah, that's what I basically did. I just redid the project, re-edited it together. That was still a headache in and of itself, just because I was using a really complex video editing software, which is notorious for being having a bit of a steep learning curve. But I was able to work through it. I got through the project. I got it out in pretty much almost the same shape and form that it was before I started to re-edit it again. I feel that this version of the project is a bit it's a bit superior in some ways, a bit inferior in others. Sometimes I don't like the the cuts that I made, like in the beginning when I was saying like what is the 21st century going to bring to the table of anime. There's this one jump cut that you guys had to have noticed where it just goes like I say after sweeping space dramas. There's a really irritatingly obnoxious jump cut right in there. It's because in the original footage, I had a pause in there, which was about 1 second long, which kind of just made the entire flow of what I was saying halt. So I edited it in the original project, and it came out really nice. It was a really subtle jump cut. You could still notice it was there, but it was really subtle, so it worked. But this one, I don't know what was going on, but the timeline wasn't matching up, so I had to move everything over about maybe a few tenths of a second, but it all added up to making that jump cut really obnoxious, and I really hate that. Adobe allowed me to be really precise with my timing on these cuts too, which I really like. But yeah, I think it makes the whole video, I feel, a bit more jumpy, a bit more sped up. But in some ways, I kind of like that because I'm thinking maybe that's the style of video that I kind of want to go for, is having the jump cuts be really sudden and really jumpy, because I kind of like that with comedy where it's like the video is completely disregarding what just happened. It's like, okay, that just happened. Now let's blah, 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 blah. Let's divert our attention to this next portion. I really like that when that happens in comedy films, or when comedians do that. They're just like, so anyway. But yeah, that was pretty much the whole thing with this video. Is that all that happened? I have nothing else I want to say about that. That is done. It is over with. I never want to relive that again. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that that never happens again. So, yeah, that's that. Oh, I feel better now. Now I can finally actually start doing a commentary on the video. Yay! Okay, so yeah, there's not really that much to discuss right here. I mean, this is where Mikuru was introduced, and yes, I don't really like Mikuru all that much. I'm not saying I hate her, but she's just the most useless character in this whole show. Haruhi really addressed why she's in this show. She's there for Moe. She's in the club for that reason, and she's in this show for that reason. So I don't really like Mikuru all that much. I don't hate her, so Mikuru fanboys, leave me alone, but I just don't like her that much. And this part right here, some of you may not, you guys probably don't get it. Sometimes I don't even understand why I do things, but this was kind of a jab at myself for like just deciding to start up this whole project without really thinking about what I wanted to do with it. Now that it's been about 3 months since I've been doing this, I have come up with a lot more elements that I want to add to this whole thing that I'm doing here, and so I'm a bit more organized with what I want to have done here. But back when I was filming this, I did not really. So it was just a little jab at myself, saying like, yeah, I'm about the same as Haruhi when it comes to how we start up our projects. She just decided one day, I'm gonna make a club, and this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen. And I'm gonna get this person and this person and this person. That's pretty much how I started. So I decided to make that little jab at myself. I can laugh at myself every so often. Funny faces at the camera are funny. Sorry. Yeah, I get sort of like that that looking at the camera funny after something happens from like a in a way I get it from Nostalgia Critic too, but mostly it comes from Jon Stewart from The Daily Show. He a lot of times some stuff will happen, some idiots in Congress will be doing idiotic things, and he'll just like show a piece of footage and then just like sit there for about 10 seconds just staring at the camera with a WTF expression on his face, and he'll let the audience laugh at his funny mug, and then he'll move on. This now that I've gotten all my bitching out of my system, I don't really know what to say about certain parts of this video. It's like I don't know. I did some jump cuts here and to make him look like he grabbed onto her boob earlier than he actually did. I don't know. This is actually one of my favorite lines in the show. It was like, "Oh, you geeks ganged up her and beeped her." See, when they do things like that, I always wonder if they actually do say the word when they do the dubbing. I wonder if Wendy Lee actually sat in the booth and was like, "Then I'll tell everyone at school that all you geeks ganged up her and fucked her." I was like, probably does, but it's just funny too. It's just funny to imagine. Oh yeah, this part where she's just this section, this joke right here doesn't really flow with the rest of what just happened. It just sort of comes out of nowhere, like Haruhi stole their camera, and now their computer, and now here's Mikuru talking. Basically, I just wanted to point out in here that I really didn't understand what Mikuru was saying when I first watched this show. I literally, all I heard her say was, it was like, can you please tone down the moe? I can't hear you. I'm sorry, Stephanie Shea. I know you're good and you're probably a great person, but tone down the moe, please. And yes, I did actually think that Yuki was flirting with him, and when I first saw this. A lot of things in this video are like really my first impressions when I was watching this show. Like, was she really flirting with him by giving him a book? And yes, I did try and read that book because of this show, and it was hard. It was so dense. It's not a book accessible for the type of fly by night readers. I didn't even finish it. I probably should try one day. And yeah, these sections where Haruhi is stripping Mikuru down, it's nice to look at for about 2 seconds, and then I remember, okay, it's really stupid. It's a stupid joke. It's please don't do it that often, but they do. Yes, they do. And I know this joke probably would have been more appropriate for like when Mikuru wears the nurse outfit. The problem is she doesn't wear the nurse outfit until about like episode 5 or 6 or something. So I can't really do that much with that. Maybe it's episode 7. I don't even remember. I know it's on disc 2. I think. I really like this joke right here with the getting abducted by floating pieces of space toast. Don't ask me where some of my jokes come from because I don't even know. I was just thinking of something random, some random question that somebody may have about a weird experience they may have in the future. So I just came up with the first thing that came to my mind, and it was being anally probed by floating pieces of space toast. Not that that's really original. Being anally probed by aliens isn't original, but I guess no one's ever done floating pieces of space toast. I had this other part in there. I really should have said I plan on being abducted by floating pieces of space toast in about 2 weeks or something, because I don't know. I feel that it just made the whole it's going to happen in the future reference more obvious, but I forgot to do it. Also, in this part, this is where I do some really subtle editing, where it's not really subtle, but the frames of the animation where nothing is moving, allow me to skip over some points of dialogue, and it makes it seem really seamless. And oh, I actually had a whole part here where I did this whole rant about where was Kion coming from, because it's pitch black night outside right now, but he's not in his school uniform, so that means he had to have been coming from somewhere else, or he had to have gone home, changed, and then went somewhere, and then decided to come back home. And I was always like, well, where did he go? Why did he go home, change, and then go back there, and then decide to ride back home to read this book? Where was he going? Why was he there? Where is he coming from? Oh my god! And yeah, this dramatic chipmunk joke is I guess it's now I guess it can be considered tacky, but I thought it fit. I'll see you guys in part 3.